Hi, and welcome to the Bocas Yoga Studio. I'm Laura Kay, coming to you from my home in the Caribbean island of Bocas Del Toro, Panama. Welcome. So today we're going to work on splits, and I've saved this one until after you've already done all the other videos in this program. Splits are not something that you want to rush into, so I am counting on you, I'm trusting you that you have well explored all the other videos on this website already to get you prepared to do something as intense as the splits. Now the splits should not be intense. It should be something that your body can safely and comfortably move into. Otherwise, there's no use in forcing it. So always keep in mind, first principle of your yoga practice is that you are already perfect the way you are. Choose to see where you are now and love yourself with where you're at now. Now, if you'd like to progress into something in the future with steady, long practice, into something like the splits, then we'll use second principle, which is alignment. So first principle is positive attitude, see yourself as good already the way that you are. Second principle, alignment. Now we're going to use techniques with muscles and bones and the alignment of your anatomy to safely guide you into eventually doing the splits. Will you do the splits today? I don't know. Sometimes it takes a day, a week, a year, a decade, a lifetime to work up to the splits, and there's no timeline on it. So we work with where you are at. Only you can say where is the edge of your comfort zone. Life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. So you kind of learn how to play this edge and move just a tiny bit beyond it so that you're safe. You do not want to injure yourself. A torn hamstring is very, very painful and can last years. I tore mine about 15 years ago, and I can still see it and feel it. And you'll see that in today's video, me nursing my injured side. So that's fine. I wanted you to know that injury is part of life, and it doesn't matter how healthy you are or what a great yogi you are. We can all still get hit by a bus, or in our case here in the islands, a boat. And life happens, and then how we respond to it, how we deal with it, is where our yoga really begins. Third principle is action, expression. It's just like you want to shine all this light out. You have so much beauty inside of you, it's almost selfish to keep it to yourself. Express yourself. Be fearless in your self-expression. Be who you are. All right, let's begin. Come on to hands and knees, please. I like a blanket under the knees. Tuck your toes under, spread your fingertips and spread your fingertips, push them strong and wide into the mat. This will really develop your wrist strength and your wrist flexibility, and it just is a nice habit to get into whenever your hands are on the ground like this. So here you go, let's ride your breath. Every inhalation, stick your bum up in the air. And with every exhalation, round your upper back. And so just keep going at your own pace of breath. We all have a different pace of breath. But basically you want to get to a long, smooth, controlled breath through your nose if possible. Now if you have allergies or anything else going on with your sinuses, it's fine to breathe through your mouth. But optimally through your nose, it helps to give you a long, controlled, smooth breath. And your nose hairs also cleanses the breath in a way. So here you go. Every inhale, it's like spaciousness and light fills you up. You can visualize that light as it fills you up. Your inner body is bright. And your skin is nice and soft. Every exhale is like a bow in gratitude for this amazing life. And just keep riding your breath. It's like a flow, riding on the waves of your breath, like a surfer would tap into the waves of the ocean. You just kind of tap into this natural flow and take a ride on it for the sheer delight of it. It just feels good to get into this natural rhythm of your body, breath, and mind as a form of celebration of this life. You yourself are creating an artistic expression of this gratitude in every yoga pose. Enjoy your breath as you take it for a ride. Long, deep, smooth, controlled breaths through your nose if possible. Notice how the back toes are tucked. Always think of your back leg as your foundation. So even in this seemingly simple pose, tuck your toes. It's just a good habit to get into, to make the back of your pose as strong as it can be. And your toes are actually pretty strong. With practice, they can even grip a mat. So you have this strong foundation of your toes tucked and your fingertips super strong and wide. So whatever touches the ground is your foundation. It's strong. And from there you can build all this beauty on top of it safely. Allow your jaw muscles to relax. Good. Now from here, with positive intent, always have an intent behind each step you take. With loving intent, step your right foot forward to the top of your mat and place both forearms down, either to the block or the floor to the left of your right foot. Now to a block is fine. Whatever works more optimally for you, that's what you choose. So the most yogic thing you can possibly do is practice self-compassion. So compassion means using your blocks, any props, blanket, blocks, straps, in order to do what's more optimally aligned for your body. So in this case, you want to have a relatively flat back. So if to place a block under your forearms helps you to keep that relatively flat back, go for it. If you have to hunch and round and struggle to reach the floor, that's not optimal. You're just going to be clenching up. You could risk back injury. So use a block if that's more optimal for you, and you'll be able to feel the difference. You want to feel a space in your body where you can feel your front leg muscles really open up and get a deep stretch, but you never want to get to the point where your muscles start contracting. That's when you're forcing it, whenever there's that contraction like that. So allow yourself to back off. If you need space, give yourself some space. It's the best gift you can give yourself sometimes. Enjoy your breath. So as you get ready for the splits, you're just going to open up these really big muscles of your front legs first. So instead of going straight right into the splits, now that could lead to injury, we're going to warm up all the big muscles of your leg first. Get everything gently warmed up before we go for the good stuff. Actually, it's all good stuff. This right here feels so good to me. Allow your fingers to relax. Often I see people really clench their knuckles together. I'm just like, go ahead and relax your fingers. It's all good. Just assume everything is cool. And everything is cool. You're awesome just the way that you are. Enjoy that. Good. Now slowly come out of it. You never want to move too fast here. When you're ready, slowly come back to hands and knees. Take the time to pause and feel the difference in your legs. Really check in with yourself. Gain body awareness. I like to shake the booty. It just feels good. You're getting so much open here with the hips and your legs. It just feels good to shake it out. To pause and feel the difference in your legs. And then get ready for other side. And always lead with a strong back foot, a strong foundation. So the toes are already tucked. They're ready to go. And when you're ready, lead with a positive intent behind your pose. Step your left foot forward to the top of your mat. And place both forearms down, either to the block or the ground, to the right of your left foot. So notice that the left knee is directly over the left ankle. If you could bring your foot that far forward, go for it. And so if that means you have your forearms to a block to get your left foot that far forward, go for it. So the aim of this pose is to get this left leg open, especially your left thigh muscles. Those are some huge muscles. So it's more optimal to place your forearms down to a block to the right of your left foot. And if you're able, you can take them to the floor to the right of your left foot. The thing is, you want to have the left knee over the ankle. So that's a pretty wide, long stride there. And you can feel it with every breath. The big muscles of your front leg open gently. And we're going to spend some time in this. So to move into something like the splits later on in class is not something you want to rush into. So really going to take your time as you move into these openers, these warming up poses. And as you're in it, you want to feel a sense of not only freedom in your hips, which we worked on in the last class. You feel this huge amount of opening in your left buttock, your left thigh muscles. All these big muscles right here. It's the largest muscle group that you have. So it's not something you want to rush into as you gently open it. So visualize it open with each breath. And it can be intense to get this part of the body open. So make sure that other parts of yourself are not clenched up. Your fingers are relaxed. Your jaw muscles are totally relaxed. Your skin is soft. So keep the back relatively flat here. If you have to hunch and round your back to reach the floor, don't do it. That can lead to injury. It can lead to tensing up of your thighs. The back not so great. So go ahead and give yourself the block. Enjoy your breath. Each breath is an affirmation of this beautiful life within you. This life that truly connects us all. And that is the bigger message of yoga, is to feel part of something bigger than just yourself. We are all made of this stardust. So if you're moving into these poses feeling tight, putting yourself down, don't put yourself down. Really try to flip that narrative around to see nothing but your goodness. Realize that you are made of stardust. You are made of everything that's in the universe. And this all connects us together as one. And when we're able to see the bigger picture in this way, to think not just globally, but cosmically, then we really do offer more compassion, not just to ourselves. It starts with us, of course. But when you're able to see this goodness within yourself, you're better able to really see it in others. and able to offer others more acceptance and compassion. And it also helps you to find the courage and the strength to find your voice and to be able to speak up for yourself, because you know that you are worthy of love, of abundance, of respect, of everything good in your life. And when you recognize that within yourself, you can start to offer these things towards others. This way we try to create a more inclusive worldwide community. And that right there is yoga. Enjoy your breath. Your inner body is bright and your skin is soft. So notice I have the blanket under my knees. One of my injuries, actually a boating injury, is a knee injury. So whether you have an injury or not, I'm just a big fan of comfortable knees. As we age, our joints get inflamed. So there's nothing wrong with comfortable knees. The foundation is still strong. The back toes are tucked. The front leg is stacked knee over ankle. Everything's stable in the foundation. So there's nothing wrong with comfort in the knees. Always come back to positive attitude and a heart full of gratitude. And then slowly start to come out of the pose. Now, if you move really quickly in and out of these poses, it could risk injuries. So really take the time to pause and feel what's going on with your body. And often our mind reacts. So if we move quick and jerky and impatient, our mind is going to do the same. It's going to react really impatient and perhaps even angry. So take your time, just pause and feel. Perhaps give a little wiggle to your hips, because, you know, it sends signals to your brain that, hey, this is fun. So does a smile. Even if you have to fake it till you make it, if you send a smile on your face, it will bring positive neuroreceptors going on in your brain. It will get some serotonin. Yes, we could all use some of that. Good. With positive intent, step your right foot forward, up in between your hands. Come on up to hands on your thigh. Back toes are already tucked. They are ready to go. Now lunge deeply forward with your front knee. Because your back knee is on the ground, it's safe for your front knee to go beyond the ankle. That's the only time. Take your shoulders back to open your heart. Inhale up, send your heart to the sky in celebration of this life. Use your core muscles and the anchorage of your back leg so that every inhalation you can go deeper back bend, heart higher, more expressive, up to the sky. Shoulders back always equals heart up, heart forward, heart open. Be fearless in your expression. Even allow your fingertips to be open and just radiate. Exhale, lower down to fingertips or to 2 blocks. Now again, keep in mind, blocks are optimal here. Your back thigh is vertical, so that's how far you're going here. This is not the splits. This is a preparation to the splits. So your blocks have 3 different heights. Use whatever height is optimal for your body. Back thigh is vertical. On fingertips, spread your front toes. And with every exhale, bow deeper, chest to knee. With every inhale, lengthen your belly and chest forward. Exhale, bow, chest to knee. So always think of it in a forward fold as chest towards your knee rather than head bending and hunching and rounding towards your foot. So check it out. You can see it in the reflection in the mirror is that the back is still more or less straight. It's not going to hunch and round too much. It's going to keep a neutral spine here. So if you have to hunch and round your upper back to get chest to knee, use a block, 2 blocks, and then choose your block height based on are you able to still keep a relatively flat back. Come back to hands and knees, shake it out because it just feels good and it sends a smile to the face. Left foot forward, up in between your hands. Come on up. Back toes are tucked, they are ready. Lunge deeply forward with your front knee. Shoulders back to open your heart. Now that it's open, yes, let the world know about it. There's no point in being greedy with all this light inside of you. When you allow yourself to shine, it gives others permission to shine themselves. So you're not serving anyone by playing small or dim in your light. So allow even your fingertips, your heart, your throat, your face, even your eyes have an expression of radiance and shining out into the universe. Exhale, lower down to fingertips. Straighten your front leg. Back thigh is more or less vertical. Now use your blocks. Here's first height. Here's second height. Here's third height. So choose which height is more optimal for your individual body. Work with what you got. Inhale, lengthen, extend forward. Exhale, bow, chest to knee. Allow the breath to lead the movement. Allow the breath to carry your spirit open. Spread your front toes. As you spread your front toes, your front leg remains active in its musculature. As your front leg muscles stay active, you'll get a deeper stretch. So it's like you look to your own strength to seek the opening. The more actively engaged you are in your front leg muscles, the deeper stretch you're going to get. So it's just about being as effective as we can on the mat. We're only here on the mat a limited time. We might as well be as effective as we can. That way, when it's time to have leisure time, we can be as leisurely as we can. So life doesn't have to be all discipline, discipline, discipline. But I like to think of it as, you know, the stronger I work and more effective I am on the yoga mat, the more chill and leisurely I could be, you know, off the mat in my life. So come back to hands and knees. Set your fingertips super strong and wide into the mat. Strong, wide fingertips force you to keep your forearm muscles engaged. Now, keep that engagement as you press back into downward facing dog, please. Full yummy stretch. Without moving your feet, widen your thighs away from each other. We talked about this in the hip opening class. Now, step both feet forward up to your hands, hands on hips, elbows up to the sky. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reach for your highest potential. Exhale, hands to heart. Spread your toes. It helps you to engage your legs, root to the earth. Shoulders back, opens the heart up to the sky. In celebration, exhale, bow, in gratitude to this earth. Bend your knees. So if you need to bend your knees to reach the ground with a straight back, go for it. Do not ever hunch and round your back to touch the floor. It's more optimal to bend your knees and have a relatively flat back. Now, how can you get a flatter back? Internally rotate your thigh bones. So even with knees bent, you can get your hamstrings open as you internally rotate your thigh bones. Basically, keep your feet where they are as you try to widen your thighs apart. Now, as you actively widen your thighs apart, you can gently press into straighter legs. They don't have to be completely straight, that's fine, just straighter. Now, your legs should be shaking here. That's how strong the legs are. It looks like I'm not really doing much. I am. The thing is to keep the thighs away from each other without moving your feet. And that takes really strong leg muscles. It's going to get your hamstrings open and give you a safe back as you inhale up, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Come back into plank pose, please. Super strong wide fingertips every time. Exhale slowly down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. With legs parallel, elbows bent, you can work your shoulders further back. Shoulders back, heart forward. Downward facing dog, please. Full yummy stretch. Enjoy your breath. With loving intent, step your left foot forward, up in between your hands, pause on fingertips. Check that your front thigh is parallel to the ground. Now, if you need to put a block under your left hand, go for it. Left hand on fingertips, scoop your front bum cheek under. Top shoulder blade moves back. Now reach your arm to your ear, palm is face down. Now notice that my front knee is stacked directly over my front ankle. That's how you know that your front knee is safe. The back foot, all 5 toes of that back foot are firmly planted on the ground. Your back leg is your foundation, so always make sure that sucker is strong. Now, keep your legs strong as they are as you start to lean back with your top shoulder blade. Keep your legs strong, add the twist. So you're going to hook your right arm over your left thigh and fold your hands at your heart. So notice the legs have not moved in this whole transition into a twist. That's how strong your back leg has to be. So not only are you warming up your legs, you're making sure you have enough musculature, enough strength in your muscles and your legs to work into the splits. You don't want to work into the splits with no muscle in your leg. You need a balance of strength and flexibility. So these standing poses here are to work on both. Right foot forward, scoop your front bum cheek under, top shoulder blade leans back, reach your left arm all the way to your ear, palm is face down. Keep your back foot on the ground firmly. Your front knee is stacked directly over your front ankle. Your front thigh is parallel to the ground. Now this gives you such a firm foundation. You can play with opening your heart. Lean further back with your top shoulder blade to really open your heart, your throat, your face. Now keep your legs that kick-ass strong as you add the twist. Fold your hands at your heart. Face yourself. Choose to see nothing but your goodness, your beauty, before anything else. Your back leg is firmly planted into the ground so that you do have all this freedom up top with your heart, with your expression, and that includes your facial expression. If you can't fake a smile, at least have a neutral face, a relaxed jaw. Come back to downward facing dog. Good. Left foot forward, up in between your hands, pause on fingertips, lower your back foot, straighten your front leg. Now here, grab a block. It really is a lot more accessible to use a block in this pose so that you can have both legs straight. The bum does not stick out on this one. It scoops under. Your front thigh bone externally rotates. It scoops under. And then top shoulder blade moves back. Start to lean back with your top shoulder blade. Now you're going to feel a really nice groin stretch in your front leg here. And that's how you know you're in your pose. You also know because your core muscles are working quite strong to prevent falling on your bum. So play your edge. See how far you can go. Go till you feel you might fall backwards. Now twist. Keep your legs exactly as they are. As you switch out your hands, right hand to the floor, left hand, shine it up to the sky. Now in this twist, the back foot will often uproot. Don't let it. Keep all 5 toes of your back foot firm on the floor. Then come back to downward facing dog, please. Full yummy stretch. The heels are not on the ground. You need room to press into. You need someplace to go. Right foot forward, up in between your hands. Lower your back foot. Straighten your front leg. Block for your right hand. Now scoop your front bum cheek under. Top shoulder blade moves back. Top hand, take it to the sky. Now with both legs straight and strong, start to lean back with your top shoulder blade. And it just feels good. It feels like the blossoming of a flower. And you know, it takes a lot of energy for flowers to bloom. I don't know if you've studied photosynthesis. It takes a hell of a lot of energy to blossom. So you're not just this meek little flower. You are a powerful, blossoming, photosynthesizing bloom of a rose or whatever flower you choose to be. Add the twist. Yes, a twisted sister. Left hand on the floor on fingertips, right hand to the sky. The back foot is still firmly planted. And come back to downward facing dog, please. Full stretch. In every dog, keep your feet where they are as you try to widen your thighs away from each other. That's the #1 trick to get your hamstrings open. Keep that as you step both feet forward up to your hands and ride your breath. Exhale, bow, chest to knee. If you need to bend your knees here, go for it. Inhale, lengthen your belly and chest forward. Exhale, bow in gratitude. Perhaps even clasp your forearms behind your calves. The key here is you want to keep the internal rotation of your thigh bones strong, elbows up to the sky as you inhale all the way up to standing. Reach for your highest potential and then exhale, hands to heart. Now find a window or a countertop or a tabletop that's about hip height. Check that your right second toe is pointing straight towards the window, so this way your hip bones are square as you inhale, left leg up to the tabletop or the window. Your left second toe points straight up to the sky. So don't lean up against the window or the table. There's a tendency to hunch and round. Nope, you're gonna work, honey. So place hands on hips, or even better yet, clasp your hands behind your back. Now this will force you to stand upright with a little bend in your elbows. That way you don't hunch your shoulders forward. That's just nasty. It's a collapse. So put a little bend in your elbows to get your shoulders further back. Nice. Now inhale, stand up nice and tall, shoulders back, chest forward. On the inhale, stand up tall. On the exhale, bow, chest towards your knee. Notice I say towards, I don't say to. So in yoga, you're always just reaching towards something. There is no final goal until the day we die, really. Hopefully that won't be today. Could be, but for now, in this pose, let's just work towards something. So every exhale, bow, chest towards your knee. So notice it's not head towards your foot. If you want to slump and round and crank your neck so your head is towards your foot, that could lead to neck injury, upper back injury. It's just nasty. So think of it as chest to knee instead of head to foot. So give yourself a break. Every inhalation is spaciousness and light. Every exhalation, you find the edge of your comfort zone. And keeping your upper back relatively flat, you play with that edge of your comfort zone. Never ever force a forward fold. Forward folds are where injuries occur most in yoga, either in your back or in this case, in this class specifically, in your hamstring. Now, I tore a hamstring about 15 years ago, and it's still healing. So I cannot stress enough how important it is not to push too far beyond the edge of your comfort zone. There's nothing more yogic than self-love, self-compassion. Love yourself with where you're at. It doesn't mean we don't have space to grow. We just don't have to grow all in one class or all in 1 week or even in a year. I'm turning 50 later this year, and honey, let me tell you, I still learn something new every day, not just about the world around me, but my place in it. Always look inward and outward to gain this awareness of yourself, not just body, but more importantly, your mind. Come back, check your foundation. Your second left toe points straight to the window or the table or the countertop. Good. Your hips are square. I'm going to try to keep them square as you lift your right heel up to the windowsill. Your right second toe points straight up to the window, to the ceiling. Now, don't lean on the wall. That's some laziness right there. You're going to make yourself balance. So you are balancing in this pose. We trick you into getting even all these different poses. Not only is it a hamstring stretch, it's actually a balancing pose. Clasp your hands, elbows bent. Inhale, stand up tall, chest is forward. Yes. Now safely, slowly exhale, bow, chest towards your knee. Notice the top toes are spread. That means the top leg is not just passively hanging out there. We don't do anything passively in this class, except for Shavasana, and that's not for another half an hour. Maybe 15 minutes. Anyway, for now, keep rocking this pose out. And you can see I am much tighter on this side. This is the injured hamstring side of me. And that's fine. I don't beat myself up over it anymore. I did in the beginning. But, you know, after living so long and experiencing trauma in different forms, whether it's physical, mental, sexual, yes, we really do victim blame ourselves. We really do put ourselves down. Somehow we deserve it, blah, blah, blah. You know what? No more of that shit. So choose to look at yourself with compassion. It's visibly clear I am injured on this side. So I'm playing my edge. I'm not as deep as I was on the other side, and that's fine. I don't feel any lesser of a human being because of it. I don't feel any lesser as a person, as worthy of goodness, of love, respect, and abundance, just because I am an injured hamstring. So it's all good. Do what you can. You work with what you've got. And you see yourself as perfect and full and lacking nothing, despite it all, because you are. Every exhale is like a deeper bow in gratitude for this life. Now here it looks like I've gotten kind of deep into it. Remember, my hamstring injury was about 15 years ago. So this isn't some miraculous, hey, next week, look what I can do. No, this was about 15 years of therapy, rehabilitation, all self-led or by my teachers, who taught me how to get safely into this practice. Many tears on the yoga mat have gotten me to this place of self-acceptance. Trust me. When I am studying under a teacher, which is really rare these days because I do live in such a remote place. But when I do study under a teacher who has more experience than I do, and that's the only type of teacher I'll study under, is someone that I know has more experience and more knowledge in yoga, not just yoga, but in life, then I will keep a sarong by my mat and I will let the tears flow, sometimes opening up these muscles, especially in places of our body that have stored trauma, whether it's physical, sexual, or verbal, emotional trauma. All that stuff gets held tight in emotional memory. So it's not uncommon when someone is opening up this part of their bodies for the first time in a long time to let tears just flow. And they will be startled by it. They will think it's something wrong. They have to apologize. They have to be ashamed. No, 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 no. Let it flow. Tears are human. Sweat is human. Laughter is human. Whatever you got, be unashamed in expression. Let your tears flow. Let it out. No one will judge you in a yoga studio for crying. In fact, that's the deepest yoga, is to have so much release that you can just let it all go. Now, we're going to balance. I have this strange condition. It's a perceptual disorder. So some days I have a challenge in balancing. Look at your foundation. Your right second toe points straight ahead. Now grab your strap. You can see me wobble. I'm not going to edit this so it looks like I'm not wobbling. I want you to see that I struggle too. You can use your strap, or you can eventually work towards not having a strap. So here, even though I don't have a strap, I'm quite well into it. You can see how I wobble. I have this really rare condition. It's a perception disorder. It's called hallucinogenic persistence perception disorder. So it makes it really challenging to balance some days. Some days I'm really focused and balanced, and I've learned to manage this condition. Some days I have flare-ups if I have lack of sleep or not eating properly, too much stimulation, either visually or auditorily, then it will flare up. So it makes balancing very challenging. And I'm not going to go into what HPPD is here, but if you Google it, you'll see that HPPD is a really severe and really rare condition. And so I've learned to live with this condition. And part of it means some days I'm good at balancing, and some days I'm just a little less optimal at balancing. I never say the word bad. I never say I'm bad at this, I'm bad at that, and neither should you. You can just say, well, some days I'm having an optimal day, some days a little less optimal. You know what? I give it my best effort, therefore I'm pretty friggin' awesome. And to be a survivor, to work with different, whether it's a mood disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, or this perception disorder, and yep, I got them all. And despite all of these disorders, I still do not see myself as broken. I did for quite some time. It took a lot of practice, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-acceptance and love to get to a place where I see myself as whole. And you should too. And this yoga practice really helps to get us to that place. So, right second toe, point straight ahead. Inhale, left leg up, right hand on hip. Now you can use a strap here. A strap here is totally cool. Whatever you do, do not hunch and round forward to reach your foot. Again, I can't stress this enough. If you have to hunch and round your upper back and crank your neck forward to get your head to your foot, don't do it. It's not worth the back injury. It's not cool. Use the strap to your foot so that you can keep your back upright. Now, lower, check yourself out, left second toe, spread out your toes, left second toe points straight ahead. And when you're ready, grab your strap, or you can use your hand to take your right foot and then have your right leg straight as you balance, left hand on hip. So as you can see, I'm standing up pretty tall here, pretty straight. So if that means you use a strap to reach your foot to keep a nice tall posture, go for it. As much as you visualize your standing leg as rooted into the earth, it's like the crown of your head extends up towards the sky. Relax your jaw. Allow your forehead to be soft and smooth. Sometimes the most challenging part of the pose is to not grimace, to not clench. So allow your jaw to be relaxed and release the pose. Always come back to positive attitude and a heart full of gratitude. Okay, keep an open mind. Just give this one next a try. Left leg up. Take it with your right hand or your right hand holding a strap. And twist. So your left leg will go to your right hand, and then your left hand is straight out to the side. So as you can see, it's just exactly the same as the twist that you do when you're supine, when you're laying on your back. And you don't have to stay in it forever. Like I said, with my balancing condition, I'm happy if I'm staying in it for at least a second. So it's all good. Don't try not to get frustrated or react angrily, because the more you can train yourself to do these challenging poses and even fall out of them with the attitude of, hey, I can laugh at myself. I can still think of this as a playful practice. I'm giving it my best shot. Therefore, you know what? I'm pretty awesome. If you respond to yourself with anger and frustration, that's going to bleed over into the rest of your life. So even in these challenging poses, see how I fall out of it and I pretend like I did it on purpose with my... It's all in the dismount. If you can dismount gracefully, have a sense of humor about yourself, I'm... Yoga. Who cares if you can touch your toes? Speaking of touching toes, exhale, bow forward. If you need to bend your knees, go for it. With fingertips on the floor, every inhalation, lengthen your belly and chest forward. Exhale, bow deep. Now, inhale your right leg up to the sky. Now, at first, the hips can be all wonky and to the side. Then you're going to add the discipline of the squared hips. We talked about hips last time. Now, you have an option to clasp your left forearm behind your left calf to give yourself a deeper hug. Now, the hips are still square, the top toes are still engaged, extend out through your top heel. This is a standing split. Exhale, lower your right leg to the floor, reset your foundation. That means wiggle your ass till you feel good. Internally rotate your thigh bones. Other side, left leg up. At first your hips can all be the side and crazy and out of control. Now add the discipline to your hips. Square your hip bones. That means your left hip bone comes down. Now you have the option to do the clasp of your right forearm behind your right calf and give yourself a deeper hug, chest towards your knee. Now the top toes are spread. The top heel extends up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower. Good. Pause and feel that. Exhale, bow, chest towards your knee, hands on hips, elbows up to the sky. Inhale all the way up to standing. All right, good for you. That's just silly. I like to celebrate by dancing sometimes. Yoga isn't just one pose after another. It's often our playful, positive attitude in between poses. So especially if you suffer from depression, this is all the more important to be a little silly sometimes and enjoy. Arch your low back so much. That your right thigh stays on the ground. Now keep your right thigh strong on the ground. All you have to do is spread the toes on both feet, extend out through both heels. Inhale, left leg all the way up to the sky. Clasp your hands behind your left thigh. Now externally rotate your left thigh bone. Press into your hands so strong that your left hip bone moves away from your left armpit. So you can see by where my top toe is pointing. It's pointing vaguely to the left. That's how you know you're externally rotated in your top thigh bone. So all these stretches and the different rotations really do have an effect on targeting different muscles of your legs. So if you think you're going to move into the splits, just jumping into it, that's not a safe way to do it. So we're doing all these different leg poses to get different muscles of the legs open and stretched and strong. Exhale, lower your left leg back to the floor. Pause and feel the difference in your legs. Your left leg might feel longer than your right. That's just strange. Let's balance it out. Arch your low back so much that your left thigh stays strong on the ground. Inhale, right leg up. Clasp your hands behind your right thigh. Externally rotate your top thigh. Press into your hands so much that your top hip bone, your top thigh moves away from your face. Now, as you can see here, the top toe, the second toe, is vaguely pointing towards the corner, towards the mirror there. And that's how you know you're getting the external rotation of your top thigh bone. And that's a totally different muscle than if you were trying to bring your foot to your head. So you're working on isolating different muscles here to get not only strengthened, but stretched and open, more flexible. Notice the bottom leg, it's still strong. It's not passively just like blah. The toes are still spread, extend out through both heels. Allow your jaw muscles to be relaxed. Notice how there's still an arch to the back. So even your back muscles are working here. It may just look like you're laying on the ground. You're not. This is pretty active stuff. The trick to get your legs and your body open and flexible is to engage your muscles. Arch your low back so much that your right thigh stays strong on the ground. Inhale, left leg up. Now take your strap or your hand to your left foot. On the inhale, open your left foot all the way over towards the left. Now the left leg does not rest on the ground. Where can it go from here? It goes towards the wall behind your head. In this case, it goes towards the mirror. So it's not only bringing your left leg to the side, it's bringing it up closer towards your head. Now you're going to feel this really yummy groin stretch, a really yummy hamstring stretch. I can't emphasize enough, do not overdo it. If you use a strap, by all means, use a strap. And you might use a strap for the rest of your life. That's cool. You know, some people wear glasses. I've been wearing glasses since I'm 18. I'm almost 50, and guess what? I'm still wearing glasses. And I can't get LASIK. So just like glasses or a strap or a block, sometimes we use it the rest of our lives, and that doesn't make us bad people. I don't feel any guilt for wearing glasses. Inhale, left leg up. Now take your left foot all the way to your right hand. You can use a strap here to reach your hand. That's cool. Whatever works for you. Both shoulder blades stay on the ground as now your head turns to the left. So you're getting a yummy, yummy twist from the top of your spine all the way to the bottom of your spine. It feels so good. Externally rotate your top thigh bone. Basically try to get your left hip bone away from your left armpit, creating a length, a spaciousness to your left side. Inhale your left leg back up. Exhale it slowly back down. Now lift your bum up off the ground, set it back down to get an equal playing field with your sacrum again. So you'll start out in this next pose on the other side with an equal sacrum on the ground. Keep your left leg on the ground strong. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Take your strap or your hand to your left foot. On the inhale, open your left foot all the way over towards the side. Your left leg does not rest on the ground. You still need to activate your muscle energy, so you never let it rest. Once it goes to the side, if you're wondering how it can go further into the pose, reach towards the head behind your wall, the wall behind your head. In this case, it's the mirror in my case. So not only is the right leg going towards the side, it's going up, up, up towards the mirror. And when it's that deep, your right leg has no space to just rest passively on the ground. Notice the left leg is still strong and straight on the ground. The left toes are still spread. The heels on both legs are extended out. Enjoy your breath and allow your jaw muscles to relax. Allow the skin on your forehead to be soft. Perhaps there's even a smile on your face. That might be asking a bit much, but try curling up the sides of your lips, and maybe it will send a message to your brain that this is pleasurable. And when it is pleasurable, the brain wants more reward in the future. Inhale, right leg up. Take your right foot all the way to your left hand on the floor. Both shoulder blades on the ground. Your head turns to the right. Now, if you need a strap to reach your left foot all the way to your right hand, go for it. It's all good. Every exhale, visualize your breath get clearer, your body cleaner, as you get this yummy massage of your internal organs. Your digestive system, your liver gets a nice massage and cleansing detox effect. Enjoy it. You deserve it. And no matter how much self-abuse we've put ourselves in the past, I'm a recovering addict, so no matter how much self-sabotage we've done in the past, it's never too early or late to practice self-love. We are never beyond trying to improve. It doesn't mean we have to be perfect. We just work towards more optimal and what's going to give us freedom in our body and our minds. Come onto your back. Arch your low back so much that your right thigh stays strong on the ground. Take a hold of your left foot so it looks a bit like a happy baby pose on one side. Now, this is a groin opener. If you want to get into the splits, you need the groins to be open. So your arm is on the inside of your knee. Your hand wraps around the outside of your foot. Your top shin is vertical. Now, your bottom leg will want to rise up. Don't let it. Keep it strong on the ground. You spread your bottom toes, extend out through your right heel. Now your left foot stands on the ceiling. Eventually work towards keeping the verticality of your left shin. Try to get your left knee closer to the floor. You can use a strap for this pose too. I've seen it many times in the 10 years I've been teaching yoga out of my studio. It's quite often I'll see someone use a strap in this pose, and that's cool. It's more optimal to use a strap to get into a deeper expression of the pose. Do what's right for you till eventually maybe there's no strap. And release. Pause and feel that. Just send this love, this compassion to your pelvis because you know it deserves it. Arch your low back so much that your left thigh stays strong on the ground. Take a hold of your right foot. Now, as you can see, I am much tighter on this side. This is the side with the injured hamstring. So, arm is on the inside of your knee. Hand wraps around the outside of your right foot. Bottom leg still stays strong and active on the ground. Try to get your right shin vertical. Your right foot stands on the ceiling. Relax your jaw. Now, as you can see, my right knee isn't all the way to the ground as it was on the other side, and that's fine, but it's something I work towards incrementally, slowly, softly, surely, over time. Don't force yourself. Allow yourself to just enjoy this groin opening. It can be an intense place to get open as we tend to store stress here. Therefore, take some nice, long, loving, compassionate, deep breaths through your nose if possible. And send that love to your groin. You can feel it. Visualize a light right here, and it's getting warmer and brighter with each breath. And release. Pause and feel that. Send yourself some compassion. I like to come into this reclined bound angle pose just to feel the groins. Oh, they feel open and yummy. There's still an arch to the back. Your back muscles are still engaged as your groins are soft. Bend both knees. Roll to one side. Use your hands on the floor and just your arm strength to press yourself to seated. Grab your blanket. Get your blocks, your straps, your blanket, whatever you need. Here we go. This is what you've been working up to the last 4 classes of this series. So, not something you want to rush into, so grab your blanket. Gonna get ready to do the splits. It's called Hanumanasana, or the leap of love. So what I like to do with this pose is I like to grab a block and then place the blanket over the block, because you want to have comfort on your groins, on your genitals, whether you're male or female or somewhere in between. Grab your blanket over your block to add a little bit of cushioning so that you can support yourself in this pose with comfort. You never want to get to a point where you're cringing or tensing up your muscles. So you want to eventually be able to feel flexible and stretchy in this pose. You can still keep your leg muscles active without them tensing up. It's a really fine balance. Left leg forward. Spread your left toes, extend out through your left heel. Now keep going with your left heel until you've gone all the way. See, the back toes are tucked. They're already in that great habit of using the back leg as support. Shoulders back opens the heart. Now reach for the sky. This is similar to the lunge you did at the beginning of class. Your hip bones are square straight ahead. Do not bring your hip bones to the side. I often see that. It's a cheat. Don't cheat. It's more optimal to have your hip bones square straight ahead. Now you can do the forward fold version of this. Every exhale, bow deeper, chest to knee. You want to keep a relatively flat back here. So again, you can use blocks under each hand. You can use a block under your crotch. Whatever helps you to get into this pose. Other side, right leg forward. Back toes are tucked for stability. Walk your hands up on fingertips and then play with it. So check that your hip bones are square straight ahead. Do not bring your hips out to the side. Check that your back foot is straight out behind you. Hip bones are square straight. Your chest is forward. There will be a temptation to kind of be lazy, to like lounge to the side with your hip bones. No, don't do it. You still got to be disciplined. You want to be all flexy and stretchy. That comes with an element of discipline. Now, discipline your back muscles, shoulders back to open your heart. This is a back bend. So not only are you doing the splits, you're strengthening your back. With every inhalation, play your edge, shoulders further back, heart higher to the sky. Your jaw muscles are relaxed. And exhale down to fingertips. Keep your legs as they are, back toes tucked. Inhale, lengthen your belly and chest forward. Exhale, bow, chest to knee. Now you can have blocks under each hand here, as well as the block under your crotch. Whatever's going to get you into this pose comfortably in a way that still plays your edge. You never want to be like, oh, I'm in pain. No, that's when you know injury is right around the corner. So take your time with this modification. This modification could be what you use for the rest of your life. And it's what I used for quite a while till I worked up to the splits, the full Hanumanasana, which I'll demonstrate right now. Don't feel you have to do this pose today or ever, but I want you to show what you're working eventually towards. So you come all the way down. Hip bones are square straight ahead. Back toes are tucked. See the hip bones? You're going to want to fall to the side. See how much light is under my crotch there? That's how you know you're uprooted. When you square your hip bones, there's a lot less light under the groin, yet you're still buoyant, so you're not just resting on the floor. Now with that buoyancy and the engagement of both legs, that means spread your front toes, extend out through your back heel with your back toes tucked. Walk your hands back up on fingertips or on blocks so that you can back bend it. Now, there's nothing to hold you up now but your core muscles, honey, and your leg muscles have to be quite strong to take your hands off the ground. Not only are they reaching for the sky, you are going deeper into your back bend with every inhale. Exhale, lower down to fingertips, and very slowly, methodically, strongly, walk your hands forward. Bend your elbows so that your elbows and armpits lift. This forces you to work not only your arm muscles, but your shoulder muscles, your back muscles, and that keeps your back relatively straight. You never want to hunch and round to try to get into a forward bend. That leads to back injury. So here, everything is not passive, it's active. The legs are active. The toes are spread. The toes are tucked on the back leg. You work your shoulder blades in towards each other. Inhale back up with a strong back. And once you come out of it, you're still straight ahead. Then you slowly, oh yes, yummy, yummy, yummy. Get yourself out of it. Shake it out. Celebrate those yummy hips, those yummy hamstrings, by giving your tushy a little shake, and you'll feel it. You'll feel all this freedom in your legs and your thighs. Something to celebrate. Right leg forward, extend forward with your right heel. Back toes are tucked. Front toes are spread. Hip bones are square. Now look at the expression on my face. That's my right hamstring injury, making it clear that it's still alive. But hey, at least this way we know we're alive. So I'm going to offer myself compassion. I know that if I try to force on this side as deep as I went on the other side, it's just going to aggravate and flare up the injury that's already been there 15 years. So hell no, I did not spend this amount of time giving love to this hamstring just to undo it. So there is no shame in using a prop. In this case, it's my blanket. And you can play with the height of your blanket. Hip bones are square. Do not take them all lazy ass to the side. Nope. Hip bones are square. Both legs are active. Now your back toes are tucked. Extend out through your back heel. Now that's really a key. Extend, reach for the wall behind you with your back heel. On fingertips, walk your shoulders back so your heart, your throat, your face opens towards the sky. Now you're going to have to use your core muscles here and your strong, strong legs to have the balance to eventually lift your hands up off the ground. Takes quite a bit of stability, so believe in yourself. You know that you have this strength to be this free, this expressive. It takes strength to be this vulnerable with your heart, your throat, your face, even your fingertips out into the world. And it just feels good to let yourself have this freedom of expression. It's like you give yourself permission to just be you. And isn't that a mind blower? Fingertips, walk your chest forward. Keep your front toes active. Inhale, lengthen your belly and chest forward. Hip bones are square, still straight ahead. With every exhale, bow chest to knee. See how the elbows are bent, the armpits are lifted, the shoulder blades move in towards each other. That forces you to keep your back muscles active and engaged. It gives you a flat, straight, strong back. If you have to hunch and round your upper back into this, that can lead to injury in your back, not to mention your hamstrings. So this is very delicate. I don't want you to rush into this practice. I hardly ever teach splits in my drop-in classes. This is a specialty pose, and I trust that you have been doing the whole series on this website to lead up to this moment. If you haven't, please go back and do the others, because it's through the other classes, through a long dedicated practice, that you'll lead up to this class of the splits. Now, what's long and dedicated? I'll be 50 this year, so depending on how old you are, hey, it's all relative, right? Time and space and all of that stuff. Wrap your head around that as you also grab your blanket. Sit your little booty up on a blanket. Take your legs wide. How do you know you're open your hips? We discussed this last time. Your knees are below your hips. That's how you're optimal. So if you're optimal without the blanket, throw it away. That's fine. I encourage you to keep it. Now, you can see my butt in the mirror. It has a low arch to the back. It has a little arch to the lower back. That's how I know I don't need the blanket. Pick up each thigh, turn it inwardly. Yoga is not a competition. Use a blanket to get that arch to your back if you need to. Now, clasp your hands behind your back. Do not rest your hands on the floor. I know that cheat trick. I have eyes in the back of my head. I know when someone's cheating. Bend your elbows, point the elbows to the wall behind you, press your hands into your sacrum. Spread your toes. There's your pose. That's a strong as pose. Pick up. Now, place your fingertips on the floor. You're going to come into your forward fold. Now, the second toes of both feet point vaguely up to the sky. They might turn in a little bit. That's okay. Try to keep them pointing up straight to the sky. Bend your elbows. Elbows and armpits lift. It's chest towards the floor, not necessarily head towards the floor. Look at my shoulder blades. The shoulder blades move actively in towards each other. That way the back muscles have to stay engaged. They have to stay safe. Slowly but surely on fingertips, walk yourself back up. This is not in any way a passive pose. It's fully engaged. Now, you're going to bring your legs together just a bit, not too much, just a bit, so that you're not quite in the splits. Internally rotate each thigh bone. Sit on the blanket if you need to. Spread your toes. The second toe points straight up. Now, exhale, over bend. Reach with your right hand to your left foot. Now, it's fine to use a strap here. So instead of the chest going towards the knee, you're going to use your left elbow as leverage to press into your left shin to get your chest closer towards the sky. So this is a twist. Your right sits bone is anchored and firm on the ground. So to get deeper on the left side doesn't mean you're going to uproot your right butt bone. Both butt bones, sits bones, whatever you like to call them, your ass is firmly planted on the ground in symmetry. Toes are spread. Internally rotate your thigh bones. You can never have enough of that, honey. Trust me, get into the habit. Both sits bones are on the ground. Check them out. Exhale, bend. Reach with your left hand to your right foot, or use a strap. The chest isn't going towards the knee. You're going to use your right elbow bent, press it into your right calf. Your left elbow bent presses into your right calf so that you can use that as leverage to give yourself a bit of torque. So the torque takes your chest towards the sky, or closer towards the sky. Every exhale, go a tiny bit deeper. Add the smile because it feels good. The toes on both legs are spread. Your legs are active as you inhale, controlled, back up to seated. Bring your legs together gently. And when you're ready, pick up each thigh with both legs straight. Internally rotate each thigh bone. Sit the blanket under your bum. Inhale, sit up tall. On the exhale, bow forward, chest towards your knee. Use your strap if you have to. Sometimes it's more optimal to use the strap so you can get a flat back. Most yoga injuries occur in a forward fold. So I shouldn't say if you have to. I should say use the strap if it's more optimal for you. So I would say avoid injury is definitely more optimal. So if you're using the strap or not, bend your elbows and armpits lift. That forces you to keep a strong back. Your back muscles are engaged, your shoulders are engaged, your shoulder blades look in towards each other. That melts your heart down closer towards your knees. Your legs are still active and strong. Slowly inhale back up. Pause and feel. Bend both knees and get ready to come onto your back. Use your arm strength to lay yourself down on the side and then come all the way down to your back into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. The back is slightly arched. Your heels are together. Feel your groins get soft. Allow your pelvis to get heavy into the support of the earth. All that opening you just did, you can really just revel in it now. Relish it. It feels good. Allow your groins to be soft. If a block under each knee allows your groins to soften and not contract, by all means, place a block under each knee. And when you're ready, come into Shavasana, your final relaxation pose. With your eyes gently closed, turn inside and choose to see your intrinsic beauty first. Choose to see your goodness before anything else. Allow your legs to be heavy and your arms are heavy with your fingers relaxed. Your inner body is bright and your skin is soft. Allow your face to be smooth and peaceful with relaxation. With every slow exhalation, feel a release in your jaw muscles. The upper and lower rows of teeth lightly separate. Enjoy your breath. keeping your skin soft. Start to expand that beautiful light that is you, that light that connects us all. Start to slowly bring subtle movement back to your body with fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. Then gently bend one knee and then the other knee. And with both knees bent, roll to your right side, please. And just take a moment there to rest your head on your right arm and breathe into your heart. Check in with yourself. Then place both hands on the floor. Use just your arm strength to press yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Take this lovely seat. If you like a blanket for your bum, go for it. Internally rotate each thigh bone to give yourself a firm foundation of your bum on the ground so that you have more freedom to sit up tall. Reach for the sky in celebration. Celebration for this life that connects us all. Bring your hands to your heart. Turn inside. Witness your goodness. Then that we're all connected. Namaste. Gracias. Un beso.